What's up, Planeswalkers? Another day, another deck, and today we're playing another CGB special with Boros United tokens. That's right, so United Battlefront basically going to be a way that we get answers to wipe the board, like Banishing Light, Seam Rip, Pinnacle Starcage, things like that. And then we're going to heavily rely on Windcrag Siege, Caretaker's Talent, High Noon, Clayfire Bricks, Rest in Peace for those reanimate decks to carry us over the top. So let's see how it goes, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. We're on our way to 1,800 subscribers. We got Kendroved here. Authority of the Consuls coming down. Sorry, it's early in the morning. Ooh, Forsaken Miner. Opponent might be playing Skeletons deck on Halloween. What? Deep Cavern Bat. So they're going to probably take a Banishing Light, which is fine because we can then Banishing Light their Bat and get a Banishing Light back. That's the only thing I could think of. They have to do that here. That plan only goes awry if they have another bat, though, so that's the big thing that would kind of hurt us a lot. Windcrag Siege. I mean, we could just go Windcrag Siege here. I think we gotta stick with the original plan of the Banishing Light. Hope for the best. Get rid of that for opponents. And what is opponents gonna do? Well, Deep Cavern Bat. Of course they had it. Why wouldn't they, right? Okay, so next turn, depending on what we get, I think we might want to start moving into the Windcrag Siege just so that we can get some life gain and some tokens. We could go Caretaker's Talent first, actually, but I think Siege will be better because we won't necessarily get the draw feature off of the Caretaker's Talent, but we'll be able to copy the token and get an extra token that can at least throw a block. So let's see what we got here. Clayfire Brick. Well, that's a good one, but let's go Caretaker's Talent. I was going to say we could Clayfire Brick into Caretaker's Talent, but then we wouldn't have the... Well, there's another land, so we can have that enter tapped. I was going to say, then we wouldn't have enough to pay for the extra token to block here. Now we can... Oh, another Corpses of the Lost. Holy cow, opponent, you got it all. We can at least jump block a skeleton to kill it. We want to go for the token so the opponent can't bounce their Corpses of the Lost back to hand. Hopefully we can hit a High Noon or something. High Noon is absolutely going to be... Well, hey... I was going to say, High Noon is going to be beneficial for us here, so I think we Windcrag Siege here. I think that's the best bet. We want to do High Noon, but that's just simply because we're going to want to stop opponent. So I think we can wait a turn. So go ahead and get a Plains. Hold up the blocker. Cecil, Dark Knight, okay. Not looking great for us here. Kind of think we have to. Yeah, I was gonna say we have to block here just to make sure we're good to go. We get two more, that's fine. We get a draw card. Okay, Seam Rip is good. Maybe we Seam Rip the Cecil. I think we may want to pump up though. Yeah, I think pump up the tokens, so we have 3/3. We can now Seam Rip, get rid of... I'm gonna do the bat, actually. Yeah, let Cecil continue to do his shenanigans here for a turn, and then we can High Noon. So now if we block and the opponent does lose a creature, so let's say we want to block the Forsaken Miner here, they're not really gonna have a good chance of cycling those Corpses of the Lost a lot. So we can block one skeleton, and then I guess we gotta do the miner here. And down to 6. We didn't gain life. Opponent loses 2. They can bounce those back to hand, which, again, very good for them. They This deck is really good. I love the skeleton deck. We're going to create some life linkers. Another Banishing Light. Well, we can only pay to play one. So I think we have to Banishing Light the Cecil here. And then when we swing in, we're going to gain 6 life. I don't think opponent can deal 6 damage to us, or 12 damage to us next turn. I think we're good to go here. Because opponent can only play one spell unless they get rid of the High Noon. Feed the Swarm. Ooh, they're going to get rid of the Authority of the Consuls. Which is fine. We gain 1 life because they're going to pay for that. They should have tried to get rid of the High Noon, but we can just smack them in the face with it. And I think we win if opponent attacks out here. Opponent does attack out, and yeah, that's going to be a good game. We know their hand. There's nothing else they can really do. We can create an extra fish token here, but we didn't even really need to because we can just ping them in the face or kill them with tokens. So yeah, good game, opponent. Wow, on to the next one. All right, Preacher Man, what do you got for us? Ooh, double High Noon opening hand with a Caretaker's Talent. I'll keep it. We got Momo, by the way. I didn't mention it before, but we got Momo. There's Momo. Let's throw down a High Noon. A third High Noon. This, I mean, with theory, 4 High Noons wins the game. Just saying. As long as opponent doesn't gain any life, 4 High Noons will kill an opponent. And there's our red source. I'm going to throw down the Caretaker's Talent. I know we don't have any creatures yet, but we'll go from there. Fabled Passage from opponents. And they're playing Esper, Swamp, Stock Up. Not looking great for us. Opponent has Elspeth's Nightmare, I think is what it was. Like, crazy card back in the day, the Crazy Saga. And what is that card? Let's see, okay. I think we want to go Clay Fire Bricks here just to thin our deck a little bit. Grab a Plains. And then we can pass the turn here. I don't think I've ever seen that card played in a deck. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I want to see what opponent plays. Unholy Annex. Okay, so kind of like Esper Demon stuff. Cori Mountain Monastery, not bad. Let's throw that down, and I guess we just... I mean, we can wait and then exile the top card. Wait until next turn to do that. What is that? Oh, the Grimoire. So they're trying to draw a bunch of cards. I am a little bit worried. Well, Sunbillow Verge. This is a slow matchup. Opponent is... I want to say they're counter mage, but they do got quite a bit of stuff here. Let's try to throw down another High Noon. Okay, there's a stick there, so we don't know if opponent has anything crazy. I guess we just got to pass the turn. We're trying to wait for opponent to do something and make a move. Really, the big thing is I feel like they're going to do something to bring out that demon. And I mean, we could Pinnacle Starcage, but we don't want to take out our own High Noons. That's the one downside with this deck, is we do run into the potential issue of that. Opponent thinking a lot. Alright, another Godless Shrine coming down. Ketramos, okay. Well, starting to see it all come together for opponent. They still don't have a demon, so they're pinging themselves pretty clearly. If they keep pinging themselves, they're within range of our high noons alone. High noon is 5. United Battlefront is 4. I think we go for a Battlefront here. If they have a No More Lies, we can pay the 3. Alright, we do get a Seam Rip and 2 Windcrag Sieges. Maybe we just go for the Windcrag Sieges and go from there. Yeah, I think we want to go Goblin, right? Because we don't have any triggered abilities. So let's do this, and then next turn we can go ahead and copy them. See what opponent is gonna do. I can see them having a Rest in Peace because of Ketramos. They might unlock the Ritual Chamber. Stock up, okay. And what is opponent? Still not. Okay, they're just taking damage. They're just taking a whole bunch of damage to themselves. I mean, we can attack here. That won't really hurt us. We'll be able to gain some life. They can't block with Ketramos currently. We get a Banishing Light too off of the top. So we can take the Unholy Annex if we really want, which might be the best bet here because we don't want them to be able to gain life. And we'll at least get 1 damage in. Yeah, I think we gotta go Banishing Light. We can pump up the tokens if we want to. Because that'd be 5, and then, yeah, I don't know. This is tough. I'm going to swing out, though. They're going to block 1 with the fish. 1 goes through. Opponent goes down to 10, right? Now, I think we have to Banishing Light. I'm really thinking this one through because we go Banishing Light here, and then we can't. Oh, they might have a counter spell, huh? Okay, well, that's fine. So let's go ahead and pump up our tokens now. They may not have lifelink anymore, but we'll have a 3/3. Consult the star charts from opponent. I think we got this in the bag. I definitely think we got this in the bag, but we'll see. They've got a whole lot of untapped mana and a whole lot of powerful colors. Rest in peace. So opponent now has 10 in exile, so they can attack. So I think if they attack, they gain 4 life. They go to 13. Next turn, we create 2 tokens. That's 12, and then ping them in the face. Okay, they don't attack. I think we still win. We pay 2 life. We can go ahead and do both of these. So we can United Battlefront here. Opponent's gonna No More Lies. I think we let them counter this just because we have 12 damage on board, right? Opponent's gonna gain 4, and then we can just shoot him in the face with the High Noon. So let's swing out. Opponent blocks, they gain 4. High Noon them in the face, and yeah, just like that, Boros Battlefront put it away. Let's get into the wrap-up. Let me know what y'all think of this deck in the comments. Of course, it is a CGB special, so you know the 1 and best of 1 played it. It's going to be a good deck. But what do you think about using the United Battlefront as kind of a way to search for answers to get rid of the opponent's stuff? I know that the Simeraculum Synthesizer deck kind of does it, but not as heavily as this one. And let me know what decks you're interested in for Avatar coming up, and any decks you want me to play coming up in the meantime. And once again, first and foremost, last but not least, you are doing everything right today, and you matter. Goodbye.